What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Where to begin? Where do we begin? So, we lost, which is the obvious one. You kind of knew it was almost written in the stars that it was going to happen. They'd not won a game in 4. We hadn't conceded for the entirety of September. We'd had a decent September in terms of, output and points and everything and stuff like that. But that opening goal in the first 2 minutes just destroyed it. It absolutely killed the rhythm of the game. And unfortunately, I think what it does do is it highlights the obvious frailties within certain aspects within our team. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and, really nastily dig out players or say that they are horrifically bad. Quite the contrary, we do have a very decent squad. We have a very decent team. But unfortunately, what we can't allow in this team and what you can't allow in the Championship is passengers. It just doesn't work in that way. That's not how you ever manage to achieve anything. There's that really ridiculous standard old adage and saying that your chain is only as strong as its weakest link, which is, it's very, very true. And I think it's the one mistake that Farke has actually made, and that is accommodating Cooper in the team with Strauch, because it just doesn't work. When Rodon's there, it works because you've got a left-footed playing left foot and a right-footed playing right foot, and it makes it better. When you've got Cooper and Strauch, it just doesn't work. I don't know why, it just doesn't. And Cooper was very Cooper-esque, particularly in the first half of that game. We were much better in the second half, but in the first half, it wasn't even like we got torn to pieces, just the defensive cohesion and structure just wasn't there at all. And I don't know why, but you could just feel that it just grew to every player that's been there. Byram didn't have his best game. Strauch probably better of everybody on the pitch, took his goal really, really well. Cooper was just very, like I said, Cooper-esque. I love Cooper to death. He is Leeds through and through. I get it. I get him, everything. However, I think we are now starting to move beyond that Championship promotion winning side now. And there needs to be maybe some tough questions or some tough decisions that are made over the next few months. Pure for me was a disappointment because I just felt that he was quite anonymous within the game, and I don't know if that's because he's playing in a deeper role. However, with saying that, against Watford, brilliant, had a really good game. Rutter did okay. The biggest annoyance for me, barring the goals that we let in the way that the game actually ended up going, the biggest annoyance for me was Somerville not tracking back. Somerville doesn't track back, and what that then does is it puts pressure on the defender that's immediately behind him. And there were a couple of occasions, within that game, that he just didn't do what he was supposed to do, and it caused problems. It meant that Byram was covering 2, and it just caused a few problems. And Dan James was just having a Dan James day, where all the endeavour, all the guile, but just the end product in the decision making just not quite where it needs to be. We go from the sublime to the ridiculous with Dan James. And again, not digging him out. I like him as a player. I think he's got a position in the squad. I think it works well. But that is just not what he should have been doing in that game. A couple of times when he could have released the ball and he didn't. Just little things just weren't working. And I think we also need to be mindful of is that this can happen in the Championship. And the good thing is that we've got Wednesday in QPR to put it right and to move forward again, which I think we will do. I think we should do. But like I said, there are some difficult decisions that Farke is going to have to make. And Cooper doesn't start for me. It's Rodon and Strauch. That central defensive partnership has been up until the point where Rodon was obviously suspended. I had no qualms with our central defensive partnership. It was working quite well and everything was running quite well. Obviously, we had the issue with Ayling and then Byron playing at left back, and it kind of, like I said, it kind of works itself in terms of how it needs to go. I think Anthony needs to start the next game. I think it needs to be Anthony and Somerville probably starting the next game. And obviously, you've got Rutter and Piore doing what they actually need to do. And I think we will see a different result. I don't think there needs to be a knee-jerk reaction. And from the main, I don't think it's a knee-jerk reaction. I just think it was a bad day at the office. I genuinely just think it was a bad day at the office. We never got off of the bus and we couldn't just get ourselves into the game. We looked mildly lethargic. We didn't look fantastically brilliant. But it is what it is. You take your lumps and you move on. I think that's going to happen this season for us. Whilst we're still trying to kind of readjust, we are effectively a brand new team. So I don't think there's any need to get too out of shape or too bent out of shape about the situation as it stands. The refereeing, again, Jesus wept. How? I don't... The only consistency in the level of refereeing in this country at the moment is that it's consistently shit. That's the only thing you can say about it. I just don't understand how something isn't a yellow card, but then the opposing team does it and it is a yellow card. It just, there are occasions for me that absolutely beg a belief, but that's a whole other topic of conversation I think that we need to have with regards to the Championship, which is the standard of refereeing. Like I said, no knee-jerk reaction needed for this, I don't feel. We now have QPR on the weekend to put this right, to go and pick up 6 points, which we're more than capable of doing. And I think we just need to keep positive. I just, as much as I think we can do quite well, and I think we could, promotion-wise, we could look to get top 6. We could even look to get top 2. I don't think Leicester will have a dip. That's just Leicester's way. But I don't think there's a need to get really pissed off about it. It was a bad day at the office, and the first goal absolutely killed us, and we could never recover from it. And then the second goal that they score, clearly from the player that was it the second or third goal with the player that should have been sent off. I can't remember, but it was one of those goals, and it was just like I said. It winds you up and makes it annoying. We made a fist of it in the first half, but we made it a practically impossible task for ourselves. And that's going to do it. That's my review of Southampton versus Leeds. I thought I'd give it a little while before I put a review up. I just wanted to sit and digest it a little bit more. And looks like we've kept Russell Martin in a job for the next couple of weeks anyways. That's going to do it. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please also don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on, and get notified of any video that I do. I think I'm going to have a look at doing a couple of review videos coming up soon or something like that, just to try and add a little bit more to the channel. But as ever, thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.